Previously on the Golden Marriage Show.
These people have been in marriage for 28 years without a child.
He's a man of a few words, but he's firm.
We have gone through ups and downs of life, but through all this, she has remained very, very prayerful.
Yes.
Married for 33 years.
33 years.
Which is 5 years today. And I conceived when I was 49.
So today is their son's birthday.
Yes, by then we've come
Mitch
on a
is turning
birthday.
5 today.
Wow.
And we are here because of Mitch. So the whole story is about Mitch. At what point or after how many years in your marriage did you discover that you could not bear a child?
Normally it is not a year. You expect to get to conceive almost immediately because like ladies, there is a period for a woman to become pregnant almost every month.
I know most people will tell you marry, get another woman. Did you get some pressure from your side? Now that he has a well size, you can't give engineer a child. What options are you offering to him?
The pressure was from everywhere.
Okay.
But one thing, later on I got saved. I made up my mind that I wanted to serve the Lord and live a full life. With or without a child. I had promised my God that I would serve him with or without a child. When they wanted to take me for another operation, he told the doctor, we live like that. I don't want to go again for another operation. Because I think when I was putting pressure on him to marry.
You told him to marry?
I told him. The pressure, when the pressure was too high for me, I told him, please, can you marry so that I can have peace?
Your journey to Thailand. How did you end up in Thailand? Because it is Thailand where blessings started coming in.
Okay, he had gone to work in Bita, the causeway, the Bita causeway. Then I was here in Busia, actually, and then he called me that he had some accident and he's planning to see how he can come here to Busia here. To him, he was just having a fracture, a small one, a crack. But I told him that if you have an accident, then there is no need for you to come here. Let me come where you are. So I think we got that the other side of the lake, and then he was brought this side of the lake. He was taken to the hospital and they did X-ray and they found he was having, actually the knee had shattered, but those people told him that he was just having a crack. So I found when he had been taken to our house in Bondo and he could not walk. So from there, together with his colleagues who had come to see him, his boss, engineer Orego Kenny, was the first person to arrive home. And we, with his late brother, with the help, he wrote to us a letter, and the following day we were able to fly to Nairobi.
As she says, I had the accident in the course of duty. I was the engineer in charge of the replacement of the causeway. We were replacing the causeway with the bridge. And so after the accident, I went through surgery, a long surgery. I didn't know at the time of the accident that my knee was almost shattered. So when I got into the hospital, because the surgeon said if we delayed a little, the leg was going to be amputated. So they took me straight into theater upon arrival, and went through 8-hour surgery, and we thought all was well. So the following week I was discharged from hospital. We went back home in Nairobi. That same week when I was discharged, then I got a call from a friend of mine, a friend of mine we had worked with and gone back to Japan. He's a Japanese. He went back to Japan in 2010, 2011. So this is 2014, 15 when I have the accident.
15.
So one afternoon he calls and he says, "Oh, I'm Nishi. I'm here at Jomo Kenyatta. I heard that you had an accident. I've come to see you. Are you still in hospital?" I said, "No, I've been discharged. I'm in the house." And he said, "I am not sure I can get your house." I told him, "Get a taxi, give me the driver, let me give him directions." So shortly after that, they were in the house. Then he came into the bedroom where I was lying. He kept cracking jokes, saying, "Oh, engineer, although you are in a lot of pain, but I'm very happy. I've been able to spend a lot of time with you. If I came to the office, I'm not sure if we could even get 10 minutes together." Meanwhile, he was clicking a few photos with his phone. And then after that, he left, traveled back to Japan. A week later, we get another call. And this time, the caller is calling on a number that I had never seen before, starting with +66. So he calls, it was around 10 in the morning, and he asked me, "Are you the Ogege who taught in a school called Ramba?" I said, "Yes, I taught, but I'm not a teacher." I taught in that school in 1982 as I was waiting to go to college. And then he says, "You taught me in Form 1. And I asked him, "Where are you calling me from? And how did you get my number?" He said, "Don't worry." Then he went on to tell me, "Okay, I'm now working in the Kenya embassy in Thailand. I got your number through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And in Thailand, where I'm working, the medical facilities are very good. They may be in the class of India or even better, only that they don't speak English, so they have not marketed their medical tourism the way India has done. So if you think you need a second opinion, I can arrange." So at that time we didn't know there was a problem with my surgery. So we leave it at that. My wife at that time is complaining that I'm receiving too many calls. She actually confiscated my phone. She said, this is interfering with your recovery process. So she took my phone and switched it off. The same day that we received the call from Thailand. So I don't have the phone, but in the meantime a physiotherapist is coming to see me, and the physiotherapist keeps complaining, "Oh, something doesn't seem very right with your leg." As he kept complaining, then we decided, now this is a bit too much. So we got the phone, which my wife had confiscated, put it on, and got the number from Thailand. So when we called this fellow back and inquired when he was still in Thailand, he said, "Yes, I'm still there. You had talked of a second opinion. Is it still available?" We said, "Yeah, anytime." And so shortly thereafter, we looked for a visa and traveled to Thailand. Of course, we had no idea which hospital we were going to. He just took us to hospital. He said, this is the hospital that we go to as embassy staff. So when we arrived in the hospital, so they just got me an orthopedic surgeon, any, not a particular one. So upon being examined by this doctor, then he drops a bombshell. He says, wow, the situation is very bad. You need to go to theater. If not, you're going to lose this leg. And it's like, what are you going to do in theater? He said, we need to take you to theater, we'll break the leg and try to reconstruct it. She broke down, of course.
Why did you break down because of that?
Actually, I went to Thailand with a very heavy heart.
You didn't want to go?
Not because I didn't want to go, but one or two occasions he had been very sick. And he would be treated here, he gets well, and we go back to the house. But when it reaches a time that now we are going out of the country for treatment, when they were saying that he was going for another operation, and what I had gone through when he went for an operation when I was in Kenya,
you imagine the same pain
I
again.
imagined the same pain, and now I was alone in a foreign land, and I don't know where, I don't know people, so it was very heavy, and that is why I go. So after the 10th doctor had given us now an okay,
Yes.
he had consulted the other doctor, and they said we were supposed to go for an operation. He agreed that we were going for an operation the following day.
Yeah.
When we were just getting out of her office, she told me to remain behind. So I remained behind, and actually my husband, he allowed my husband to go out.
The
And he
10th
was
doctor now?
The 10th doctor, and he was so much scared. Maybe he thought the doctor was going to change his mind. But the doctor, her mind. But after hearing the story from the other doctor, how the leg was and how this man is in pain, I think she sympathized with me so much. And she wanted now to know more about us.
Yes.
So she asked me about my background, for how long have I stayed with my husband,
Wow.
and how many children I'm having. So the thing came when I told her I was not having a child, and by then I was 48.
At
Yes,
48 without a
then
child.
At 48, then she told me, at this point you are still talking of not having a child. Him, later on he told me, because immediately I reached out and he asked me, what was she telling me? And she cancelled the operation. Then I told him. The doctor just wanted to know my background and how many children, as I have told you before. But when I told him I was 48, then he said at 48 you are still talking of having a child.
Imagine.
Why can't you adopt? Then I said, one, I have stayed with so many children, there is no need to adopt because already I had adopted. And two, in Africa, you don't give up until you go to the grave. You know them, they don't bury, they burn the body. So I told her, you don't give up
I
until
love
you
that
go to the
African
grave.
faith.
When she heard that, I think she was a bit shocked. Which kind of faith is this? Then she asked me, do you still want to have a baby? Then I said, yes, I want. Then she accepted to introduce me to a doctor. She told me, tomorrow when you go for the operation, I'll bring to the ward. I'll bring you the appointment letter from the doctor. So he came to the ward to bring the appointment letter, which of course I went to see the doctor. Of course, when he was taken for the operation, the doctor came with his results and my appointment letter. And she was very happy because there was nothing wrong to buy from going for an operation. Everything was okay. Then gave me the appointment. I was supposed to go and see a doctor. I went and see a doctor, and the doctor wanted to do some test on me. At first I refused. I told him no. Then he insisted, why can't you, now that you are here, why can't you just let us find out what is wrong, so that even when you are going back to your country, you already know what is happening. Because I told him, I've just come for a second opinion. I want you to, maybe I can come later. But for now, I'm not ready for anything. And then he was telling me my uterus would be ready in 3 months' time for a baby.
Which in 3 months' time you'll be ready to have
my
a baby.
uterus, because they have found out that they have big fibroids. So to him he was saying once they deal with that, they will be able to help me. I was not aware of the fibroids. I only knew one of my tubes was blocked. When I took the news to him, he told me, why can't you just try? If you succeed, we thank God. If you don't, you will add him on the number of doctors you have seen in your life. He persuaded me just to go and do what the doctor wants. So one side I was seeing it on that side, that what will people say? So the operation was done on myself after his. The operation was done February, not in March, February
2015.
2015. Then we came back. So we stayed up to 2016. December now is when we went.
Okay.
December 2016. We went for checkup. I also went for checkup. But when I went for checkup, they found that I was expecting.
Wow. When she went back for checkup, December 2016, she was expecting. How was the news? How did Daddy react?
Okay, because I didn't go with him. One, you know, he was sick.
Yeah.
Because he was moving stretches.
He was trying to.
So I would not move very fast in the morning to wake up very fast and go. So I left him in the room. And I went alone. And when I went, the doctor wanted to see him. Because he wanted to break that news to both of us. Then he came in and he was able to break the news to us.
Wow.
And
how was it for you, Daddy?
Those moments that you really appreciate God.
You're confused. You don't know whether to thank God or
You don't know
believe.
whether it's true or it's fiction.
Can imagine. I can just.
And we started crying.
Yeah, that moment.
We both cried, and you know you are crying and there's no one to tell you stop. You cry until you are tired, until now you ask ourselves, why are we crying?
Why are we crying?
So we called,
tears of joy.
We called our friends in Kenya, and they also started crying over the phone. So both we are crying there, they are crying this side.
I would have cried as well. If it were me, I would have cried.
We cried.
Now, how was the journey for you? The pregnancy journey, the period. Was it difficult?
Okay. At first, it was like a dream. I didn't know.
Okay.
I was saying, is it really true? In fact, I realized that handling success is as difficult as handling failure.
Wow.
1 week I was not able to sleep properly. It was is it really true? Are they telling us the truth or they're cheating us? Both of us.
Yeah.
I was so sick that even eating was a problem. Even the people around knew that I was not feeling well. They had to come and ask me what is wrong with me.
Yeah.
But I thank God because I would communicate with the people here. But we decided that I should come back. Because remember,
why didn't you want to come back?
We wanted to come back, but if it were not, I would not even have come back. There was no need. It was very expensive. But we had to come back. Why? We went for treatment in my age. If I would have stayed there and then become pregnant and stay for 9 months and come with a baby, people were going to say that I bought the baby. I wanted to give birth in Kenya.
Wow.
So I went there when I was 7 months. Then on 12th of September 2017, at 11:45, the baby was removed through cesarean.
Wow. This story is just way over our expectations. So inspiring. Mimi nimebarikiwa sana. So as we finish, we want just mom to tell us a few things anaweza ambia mtu ndio tunaweza saidia hata wale pia wenye wako nje, what we can also pick and apply in our homes.
If a problem has come, let us come out and see how are we going to solve this problem. It's a common enemy and we need to get it out. And communication is very good. We need to communicate and not hide things from one. We should be open. And we should choose the kind of friends we are working with. Friends will take you away.
Exactly.
If you are not careful, your friends will lead you away from your marriage. And they are the people who are going to laugh at you first. Actually, we should choose the kind of friends. And if we are true Christians, then we should believe God and do what is right. Discipline is doing the right thing even if you don't like it. You have to have faith.
Yes.
Faith is the most important. You know, with the faith, let me tell you, if it were not for our faith, we would have gotten lost.
Kabisa.
You can imagine having all the money and you don't have children. What do you think of is going into drinking and going into drinking and maybe you are going into prostitution or other things. But with the faith, when you know the God you are serving, the God will keep you in the right path.
God is faithful. And to the young people, one piece of advice that I will give to the young people is that I think the only place where you will get survival and they will keep with you throughout is the church. So be faithful to the church, because when you are born, the church will be there. These are the fellows who will baptize you. When you are marrying, these are the fellows who will wed you. And eventually, when you are leaving this world, it is the church that will be burying you. So, where you will get true relationship, true friendship, is in the church. So, every person you come into contact with, treat them with respect. There might be little children, treat them with respect. You never know who they will be tomorrow.
Exactly.
This has been so inspiring. Sijui kama nyi pia mmebarikiwa kama mimi. Actually nimebarikiwa sana. Mama ameshare so many things and I've learned a lot as a lady from my side that we should care for our husbands. Secondly, amesema we should not underrate anyone. However small they are in your eyes, you don't know about tomorrow. Maybe they are the people, the vessels God are going to use to bring you that thing that you want, to be a key for that breakthrough that you are waiting for.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this most sizzling episode of the golden couples. You've seen gold in these guys. 28 years of not having a child, but they still maintain the relationship. That was so powerful. I've learned a few lessons from engineer and his wife. Number one is patience. Being patient for all those years without giving up is not easy. Number two, it is always being faithful. Despite engineer being given the permission to go ahead and marry, he never married another wife. He remained into his principles. Number three, God-fearing family. Without God, they will not do anything. And engineer said that he could not disappoint God by going and marrying another wife. And I've seen also there are very prayerful couples. So if you want your marriage to work and to stand, ensure that you are faithful to one another, you are prayerful, and also you have your principle that you cannot break. And then also, if you are a couple out there and you are in the same situation like them, don't give up. Not that God's time is always the best. And it's not a man who gives children or a wife, it's God who gives the children. And also, the circle of friends you have around you will really affect how you're going to conduct your relationship. They either break you or build you. And then also, they had a very strong support system from their parents, the mother-in-law, the people who are around them, the friends, the church, those who are interceding with them in prayers. Ensure that your circle is also that's going to enrich you and build you together. So this is the Golden Marriage Show. And if you have a story that is touching and you think it can affect other people's lives positively, don't hesitate to reach us through the number that you are seeing on the screen.